Hello, welcome. It's been a while since I've shared any transmissions in this space. Life's been pretty full and busy, and I've been moving around a lot. But no matter, I'm just really happy to be here and to be filming and sharing this transmission today. Today is the full moon, and it feels like the perfect day for this particular transmission. So today the full moon is in Taurus, and that might sound a little bit confusing because according to Western astrology, the full moon is in Gemini. I'm not going to get super deep into that, but I will say earlier this year I transitioned away from Western astrology when I learned, because I had no idea, that Western astrology does not reflect the actual placements of planets and stars in the sky. I don't think I totally understood that, and so when I learned that, and as someone who is a big stargazer and loves to learn and connect with constellations, it just felt really true to shift to a more ancient and ancestral form of astrology. Some people call it sidereal astrology, although even some forms of sidereal astrology are still kind of inaccurate, astronomically speaking. Some people call it true sky astrology. I like to call it ancestral astrology because it is the form of astrology that our ancestors used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Essentially, if we were to look into the actual heavens, if you were to go on Stellarium, an open source planetarium that you can look up online, you would see that the moon is in actuality in the constellation of Taurus. And essentially Western astrology has created its own man-made kind of chart or system, and instead of using the actual placements of stars and planets, use this man-made system instead. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You have all the space to pursue your Western astrology if that's what you like, and I definitely think that there's a way that we can hold both of these truths simultaneously. Western astrology is very young. I think it's only about 2,000, a little over 2,000 years old, and it was invented to fit the Gregorian calendar. But before that, for the many of thousands of years that we watched and listened to and communicated with the stars, we used a purely astronomically accurate astrology, an astrology that actually was scientifically accurate, so to speak, or that lined up with the actual placements of planets and stars. I like to think of it in this way. I like to think that because we as a collective have followed Western astrology for the past 2,000 years, that there has become a kind of truth to it. We have given our belief and our awareness to it, and that it in many ways represents the kind of personality-based and psychology-based aspects of who we are. Obviously, a lot of psychology is based off of Western astrology, and so it kind of speaks to this like outer layer, the ego layer, the personality layer of the human and of the collective, whereas ancestral astrology really speaks to the true kind of crystalline core and like creation's imprint on who and what we are at a deeper level. And so there's definitely a way to play with both of these forms of astrology. If today is a new moon in Gemini for you, then you're totally welcome to honor that and maybe create a little space for another story that is also very true. I've chosen to no longer kind of use a middleman or use a man-made chart or an astrologer to tell me where the planets are and to tell me what's going on. I choose to now really look to creation and look to the stars and the planets themselves and understand that way. Anyway, the moon is in Taurus and the sun is in Scorpio in actuality, right? And this is really beautiful because Scorpio is, of course, ruling this kind of reproductive space in the body, so the sacral space, the womb, essentially. And Taurus is, of course, ruling the throat. And that means that there is this really beautiful dyad taking place between throat and womb, literally in the heavens as we speak. Now, I've been doing a lot of womb work these past months. I held a really beautiful container called Vocal Womb Rewilding, where I sat in circle and ceremony with incredible women and just did so much deep diving into the vocal womb dyad. And it was just so fitting that this full moon, like as this container is coming to a close, that this full moon came and literally highlighted the cosmic throat and womb space in the heavens. So today just felt like such a fitting day to like really presence the womb space and really sing from the womb space, not just in silent meditation, but to really root the voice and expression into the womb space. Now, this transmission is going to be exploring this particular story that is unfolding. You do not have to be a woman or have a womb to engage with this transmission. I believe we all have a creative portal within our sacral space, a sacred portal that is a kind of womb space, so to speak. And I think we can all really learn to remember to speak and transmit from that creative portal. So this transmission is going to be an exploration of the vocal womb dyad, an invitation for you to just rest a little more deeply within your throat and within your womb sacral space, and really play with feeling that connection between the two of them, feeling the way they communicate and interact, and also just celebrate the celestial bodies, celebrate our father sun in Scorpio. If you can get some sunlight on the womb space, really recommend it. I'm actually sitting here with some sun directly on my womb, just bringing the light of the sun into that Scorpio region is really beautiful. And celebrate our grandmother moon in Taurus, and really just see what arises. Not interested in like imposing too much of my own personal perspective on what it all means. I'd much rather just like transmit the kind of subtle essence of it and allow it to arise for you in whatever way is true for you. So if you want to just receive and listen, if you want to hum and sing and channel along, you're welcome. If you want to explore that voice and womb sacral center within yourself, or if you want to maybe open up your heart and mind and awareness to the heavens, to the moon, to the sun, to the stars that they are currently dancing with, then you're welcome to do that as well. I do just want to mention before I begin that for anyone who's curious about the vocal womb work, curious about womb singing, I am holding a 2-hour workshop on December 3rd. It's going to be through Zoom. It's $45. It's going to be a kind of 101, but also a little bit of a deep dive into womb singing, both womb singing from a physiological perspective, like what it means to sing from the womb space, the importance of posture, the importance of breath within the female body, but also the magical, mystical aspects of womb singing as well, and what it means to speak and transmit from the womb space. So if you're curious about that, the link for that is in the bio. I'm also going to link a wonderful website called Mastering the Zodiac, which is the only website I've found, and I haven't done a bunch of digging, but the only website I've found that seems to have accurate charts and information on sidereal or true sky ancestral astrology. It's the only website I found that gives you a birth chart that is actually accurate and lines up with the placements of planets and stars. So if you're curious and you want to check it out, I'm going to link that down below. Also, just want to shout out some appreciation for a wonderful woman I follow on Instagram named Cassidy Lee Bell, who shared a little bit about this current transit and brought it to my attention. Yeah, I feel like there is a new awareness arising within the conscious community, specifically around astrology, kind of beginning to remember the way in which we used to relate directly to stars instead of relating to man-made systems. So that's what I have in this moment for you. I'm going to get into the transmission. I have my shooty box. I haven't played this in a really long time. I've been traveling a lot, moving around a lot, so it's tricky because instruments get packed away and all of that stuff. So welcoming you to just find some silence within yourself, attuning to the throat, attuning to the womb, to the sacral, and just opening up like the crown to these beautiful heavenly bodies above us. Sahare marishe murar misterami ikurte ipahaleri sishera sishera Pitalehe Yehareste pirana Yeha Helahartire Kisteri mahal Isher tahare maran Ikartiste Malalela Iker partistai Isalale malahi Turupelalahe Pila harta itaha Isalale parerti palai Pala pertisterahe Noterti pertunai Velalestarti kartu pertinai Ja halalilartu partiterturai Inaharima Inaharima Inaripa Isiase sotorokia sheo sa inina areu sutorarkite sanahaye aushu suni ite. Warahare eishia seo kuntupia seo sa. Intaishi seuto. Intaiku turupai setantiri narawe hamesi. Shurutu esera. Ikitaruni hara ise. Wahena awe sharu asi. Wahenu are shana asi, kisia teu suntro pisce ara sewa, kini kitaru kusuto tenta ishi sekuitesa, arahaye inna ishina arukise, inna artuise tasu, inna ishitaite, inna ikiasewa, aronomia shetari, untro piakashi shikao sono sitesa,